How much dirt can you possibly sweep under your rug is the topic today. Okay, so there's always somewhere I'm going. Hey Keith, appreciate you joining in. There's always somewhere I'm going. So we're going to jump right in because I don't want it to be too long. So come on in and join me. Like, comment, share, whatever. I appreciate you viewing. All right, how much dirt can you sweep under your rug? Now, let me give you a little bit of backstory today. I went into the morning meeting this morning, and Saturday our dealership brings in food for the salespeople, so that way we don't have to leave for lunch or anything like that. So this past Saturday we had chicken. Okay, so we had fried chicken, had all the fixings. And, you know, obviously, when you get done feeding everybody in this dealership on a Saturday, we got 25, 30 people working here some Saturdays, there's usually quite a bit of a mess. So anyway, I clean the table off. You know, I scoop all the stuff in my hand. I take the time to get it all off the table and before I even wipe it down, so there's no crumbs or anything right on the floor and stuff extra that's not already there. So I come in today, I go to sit down in a chair, I pull the chair out, and it's full of chicken skin, the fried part of the chicken skin. So I sweep it off, and I decided, I said, well, let me pull out this other chair. It's full too. So it's been tucked up under the table since Saturday with chicken in the seat. Okay, so that's pretty disgusting. If we'd have had visitors, that would have been quite embarrassing. So I started thinking about this. I said, you know, it comes from laziness a lot of times when you do stuff like this. So I started thinking about something. And I started thinking about when I was younger, the cartoon characters would always sweep the dirt under the rug instead of scooping up the dirt and putting it in the trash, okay? And you could also apply this to a kid that you've asked, what's up, Mike, that you've asked to clean a room, how instead of doing it right, they oftentimes just, they would take and put the stuff up under the bed or whatever, so that way you didn't see it, right? So the question is, do you sweep the dirt under the rug instead of put it in the trash? Are you sweeping it under it instead of dealing with it as you go? Okay, that's an important question to ask. Okay, so if you have an area rug, for example, it's sitting in the middle of your floor, and you have hardwood floors and you're sweeping your stuff, most people, I would say, would scoop that up and throw it away. But oftentimes we don't take the time to lift up the rug and sweep under it. So do you sweep it? Okay, is this you? Do you sweep it to the point to where it's noticeable, that you sweep it up under the rug and it piles up to where it's noticeable? That's a question you have to ask yourself. So why would you do that? There's 3 reasons, and you could apply this to a kid cleaning a room if you want to. 3 reasons why I come up with why that somebody just sweeps it up under the dirt, up under the carpet, right up under the rug. Why does a kid put all that stuff under the bed? Well, there's 3 reasons. Number 1, laziness. A lot of times we're just lazy and we don't want to deal with it, right? Number 2, we could be in a hurry. Like Mike said, we could be expecting company, and that's the easiest way to deal with something is just shove it in a closet, throw it up under the rug, push it up under the bed, those kind of things. But the 3rd one, maybe we just don't want to deal with it. Maybe it's just too much for us to deal with. We've taken the time to sweep up the dirt. We just don't want to pick it up, and we just don't want to deal with it right now, okay? So the question might come up, after doing that so much, what could happen, okay? What could happen if you don't deal with that dirt? What happens if you don't sweep it up into the dustpan and throw it away? Well, most of the time it could usually become a bigger mess, something that would take you a little bit longer to clean, all right? It takes a little bit, it becomes a harder problem to deal with, or someone else finds it. Now let's apply this to your life, okay? If you have things that you're doing in your life that actually are kind of dirt, and you keep sweeping it under the rug, those are things that will actually end up happening if you're not dealing with it. If you continue to sweep it up under the rug, guess what happens? That rug don't lay flat anymore, okay? It usually is being able to be seen. If you shove everything under the bed, what happens? Eventually there's so much under there that you can see it under the bed, okay? You shove so much in the closet door don't close. You see what I'm saying? So in your life, sometimes you have to take a self-evaluation. You've heard me say this a lot lately, and I'm talking to the choir. I'm talking to myself as well when I'm talking to you. Sometimes we allow things, bad things oftentimes, to build up in our lives until we can't deal with it, until we can't handle it. Okay? Much like if you continue sweeping up under the rug, it's going to cause a hump. Okay? It's going to cause a hump in the rug, and what's going to happen? It becomes a bigger mess. So then you got to spend a little bit more time. You got to spend a lot more time, a lot more effort to clean it. It becomes harder to deal with. So if it's something that you've done in your life, you keep putting it off. By the time you get ready to deal with it, it becomes a bigger problem for you to deal with. But the third one is, like I said yesterday, how somebody can hurt your reputation. You can hurt your own reputation, because by not dealing with your own dirt, by not dealing with your own things in your life, guess what happens? Somebody else finds it first, and then you want to deal with it. Okay? So keep these things in mind as you go out today, because much like the chicken I found in the seat, or the dirt being swept under the rug, eventually, though these things are hidden right now, they'll become visible to everybody. So it's important that you must deal with them as they come, as they bring themselves about, as you see them. If you'll deal with them, you don't have those problems. You don't run into those issues. Okay? So 3 reasons why people do this: lazy, in a hurry, but probably the biggest is I just don't want to deal with it. Okay? I see this problem. I'm fixing to have to deal with. I don't want to deal with it right now. So I put it off till tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm too busy. The next day you keep putting it off. And eventually what happens is, like you sweeping stuff under the rug, it builds up. It builds up to the point to where people can actually see it. Okay? It's not as hard to find that information out. It's not as hard to see that dirt if you keep sweeping under the rug. It usually becomes a bigger mess, right? And then it becomes so hard, so much, that it almost seems impossible to deal with. Okay? So don't be like the chicken in the chair, the seat. Don't be like the kid that shoves everything under the bed, and then maybe the bed's off the ground because there's so much stuff under there. And definitely don't be like you saw in some of the old cartoons that I used to watch as a kid, the Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry's, where instead of scooping it up in the dustpan, you just sweep it under the rug. How much more effort could it possibly take for you to take that dustpan, bend down, and sweep in the dustpan every time you sweep the floor? Okay, if you have hardwood floors, it's almost a necessity to sweep these floors every day. Okay, think about that in your life. Sometimes it's a necessity for us to self-evaluate ourselves, see what we're doing in our life, see if it's beneficial to other people, see if it's beneficial to us, or see if it's something that's a detractor, something that's negative. You see what I'm saying? Stop waiting. Stop allowing this stuff to build up in your life, and then you can't deal with it at all. Okay? It's okay to get help. It's okay to talk to people. Okay? But don't let it get to the point where it feels overwhelming and that you can't deal with it, because guess what? If it feels like that, chances are you won't deal with it. So today, go out there. Don't keep sweeping your dirt under the rug. Take some words from the fist pump guy. I promise you, it will make your life be a little bit easier if you won't let this stuff build up to where you can't deal with it. Hope this has helped somebody today. Hope you like my analogies, because that's what I do. But everybody have a great day. This has been the Fist Pump Guy, selling cars the right way, because it's the only way I know. Follow the Fist Pump Enterprise.